Qarin the Sixth, the Flame of Persia. Having carved his name into history with the conquest of the Pontus from the Byzantines, he now seeks to continue his dynasty's legacy, to restore Persia to the ancient Achaemenid borders. His next target, an old enemy, the once mighty Arabian Empire, whose caliphs once brought terror to Persia during the Iranian intermezzo, but who now lie weakened and in Qarin's sights. Peace holds with the northern nomads for now, a fragile truce that Qarin will guard closely, so his armies can march south and west, undivided in purpose, unstoppable in faith. The flame of Zoraster burns bright once more, and under Qarin the Sixth, it will set the world ablaze. Hello everybody and welcome back once again to our Zoroastrian Persia, where we have come an awful long way from trying to rise up the ranks of the Iranian intermezzo and just survive, to now being at a point where we are one of the most dominant forces in the world at the moment. If we look at the Byzantines here, we can see that their current income is about 132 gold per month, whereas ours is up at 215. I am really happy with almost all of our holdings as well. Like, we have turned Baghdad into an incredible capital, taking in 34 gold a turn already, and we are not even finished upgrading it. Our wars against the Byzantines have been progressing fantastically. We've picked up Anatolia and most recently Pontus here. We do need to try and find a way to shore up this land behind us here. I'm not a big fan of this or this really. One thing we could do to possibly help with this is form the Kingdom of the Caucasus. We have the ability to do that, and we could grant it to probably this viceroy over here. Now, he's currently a vassal to the Viceroyalty of Daylem here, which have been kind of progressing tremendously in their expansion. Not exactly where I want them de jure. They're a little bit oversized to the north here, but I think I will actually try and retract a vassal off of you. Will you give me this back, please? Yes, you will. Amazing. And we have immediately been called into a war by our tributary, actually. Our brother-in-law and tributary of this kingdom that is clearly in a spot of bother. What even are these borders? We will accept. It shouldn't be too much skin off of our back to be the deciding force here. All the same, 11,000 attackers is pretty insane. We will deal with that war in just a second. Let me just create the Kingdom of the Caucasus here nice and early, and then we'll grant that off once we get that vassal back. Why am I looking even more disheveled now? In terms of decisions then, we still have the ability to evangelize the realm, and we can reassert the Holy Mission for another kingdom. Now, theoretically could just go for, say, Nicaea here. That would be another significant blow to the Byzantines while they are still weak, but don't forget that we also want to attack the Arabian Empire to pick up Egypt here, and probably Jerusalem as well. That is what we need for the Achaemenid borders. They are looking okay. They're nowhere near as threatening as they once were, but they're building up in strength. They are being ruled by a fortune builder as well, who's only 27, so I imagine he should only go from strength to strength here. I think I might let this war just progress naturally by itself for the time being, though. A lot of our army still has to replenish, so I'm going to give it some time so that we're at full strength, because I could raise up and attack now and probably help him, but then we'd be like double diminished, which if we get attacked by somebody that's a real threat would be a problem. In the background, I have also been building up the Bavandid estate as much as I can as well, just for that income wherever possible, influence as well, so we don't have to worry about that as much. But to be honest, overall, our income in almost every regard is looking pretty fantastic at the moment. We could maybe do with some more piety, but not that big of a deal. Amazing. There is the vassal back. So you, my friend, have just won the lottery because you are now going to get the Kingdom of the Caucasus. We'll grant that to him anyway. At the very least, it makes our land a bit more de jure, how we like it, and maybe he'll expand out here and try and pick up some of this, and then undoubtedly we'll have to deal with hundreds of nomad factions again. It's going to be particularly expensive to start another legend here, but I am going to do it. We can afford it. I want to get this going. We'll probably use this evangelize and reassert of Holy Mission for ourselves, and then hopefully when our son takes over, he can immediately inherit a legend that hopefully is already mythical by the time we die, but let's see. Continuing to upgrade everything inside of Baghdad as well, an absolute moneymaker for us. But to be honest, even our other counties are still at like close to 30 gold a month in some places. Something else I've also done is bumped up the game version ever so slightly so that we can actually have coronations now. So what that ultimately means is that we are going to have to deal with these uncrowned debuffs, but we'll also get the anointed sovereign or crown sovereign buffs as well. And the coronations can make for some interesting interactions too. We're going to be quite old having this one at 45, but let's make it happen anyway. We can definitely afford it. It's interesting that some of the actual counties over here, due to being holy sites, actually get quite a few bonuses for being crowned over there as well. But we could also just get crowned in Baghdad inside of the capital, which I do think makes the most sense. We don't have a crown artifact. Okay, that's actually a problem. We are actually going to make our daughter our antiquarian here and see if she can forge us a crown worthy of our dynasty. Chances are probably not, but what we can eventually do is wait for somebody who is inspired to make an incredible crown, and then we can try and swap it over. In a sign of how far we've come as well, our court brewmaster and one of our vassals is actually Saeed, which means that somewhere along the line, he actually has the blood of the prophet, which undoubtedly would have been a massive buff if he was in the Arabian Empire, but he is not. He is in our Zoroastrian Persia, so it doesn't mean that much to us. So first things first, let us commission a crown to be made so that we can actually use that inside of our actual coronation. And then once that's made, hopefully we're not ill anymore and we can actually host the coronation itself. I will also commission a legend artifact here. That is 800 gold, but we get Keeper of the Mazdian Holy Site book for +3 diplomacy and +3 learning, as well as some renown. Fantastic. I also may as well reassert the holy mission right now so that our next holy war is ready. But like I said previously, I am going to hold off on evangelizing the realm until we actually take one more kingdom. Just because right now we probably could convert all of this over, but I'd rather take another kingdom, have some of that get converted over, and make things a bit more smooth for us. 7 family members can get married. Oh boy. I think at this point, realistically, I'm just going to focus on trying to get as many good congenital traits as possible into the family here. We will just basically try and find a nice mix between congenital traits and alliances where possible. We could also get an alliance with some Karluk nomads here, just to the north of us. They probably won't help us that much in an actual war itself. Oh, I just realized you are a conqueror. How did you pull this off when this is all the land you hold? Was your father a conqueror that you inherited it? No, it's just you. But it seems like the majority of your strength really is just the fact that you're inside a confederation. Being a conqueror inside of a confederation is very strange. Normally they form around a conqueror. I probably won't go for that marriage then, because we have had instances previously of a conqueror king that we were allied with, but would just never join. -1,000, conqueror. I'm not coming to help you, so let's not do that again. At long last, we have lost the trait ill. We are glad to be well again. Oh, here we go, it's the Horse Lords. A strange man taps the side of his horse to calm it down, then advances towards me. Greetings, Honourable Shahanshah. I am envoy of the great Qarin Kibar. My lord has sent me to propose a truce between our people. So this is actually the lead Mordvinid ruler here, who's kind of been struggling recently with some internal strife. He does have 13,000 men. We could spit on the ground and possibly end up forming a rivalry with him. We could send some respects, or I could pay 450 for the truce. I don't really want to pay him off, but I'd much rather pay the 450 now and then just not worry about what's to our north as much, rather than possibly getting a rival with him, because I really want all my focus to be on the Byzantines and the Arabian Empire. Any time spent dealing with nomads is really just time away from the primary goal. Oh, and now somebody's trying to murder me. This is absolutely fantastic. Look at this, we're being raided. 84 loot, oh my word. I would be raiding me as well if I were the nomads, but let's try and put a stop to this. I'm going to take a slight risk here. I'm going to attempt to attack with about half the troops, but these are all of my men at arms, so hoping quality wins out here. Our mentor and governance scheme on our son has also been successful. This is fantastic news. I really want to keep doing this on cooldown, really, with any and all members of my dynasty that are currently ruling, but also making sure that we start to think about who exactly we want next in control of the actual empire. Thankfully, it looks like quality has indeed won out here against the Raiders. It is about 6,000 routed versus 1,500 of ours. Quite happy I didn't get involved in these wars over in India either. It looks like they're both doing fine without me, so shouldn't be any issues there. Oh, incredible. Our court scholar has published his findings, has been upgraded from an insightful thinker to an astute intellectual. Sponsoring scholars inside of the Persian Empire is proving to our benefit. Something else I want to do, seeing as though we're up at 7,500 prestige, is actually reform the Persian culture here, and I think I might want to add in by the sword. This will make it so that there's no limit to the number of kingdom-level holy wars that can be declared by any one ruler, and all CBs that require a specific level of devotion require one less. It does mean that different faiths will like us even less, and our monthly piety will go down. But across the board, I think this will actually be an insane benefit to us. It will take 30 years to establish, but in my mind, if in 30 years through Legends we haven't conquered everything that we need to, that should make finishing it off incredibly fast. We do also now have a fine crown at the very least. It's not fantastic, but it's not terrible either. So let's go ahead and actually have this coronation. We're going to max out the activity options. We're going to go for impress attendees here because the more magnificence, the better. Legitimacy we don't really need, but the cultural acceptance will be quite nice as well because there are many vassals of a different culture inside of our realm. Let us start this coronation. Hopefully we can get this to the max level of magnificence and then just keep handing that down as our sons are actually crowned and just really try and bring as much legitimacy and power to the throne as possible. Once this coronation is done, then we will be deciding if we want to do a holy war against the Arabian Empire or the Byzantines that are currently embroiled in a liberty war. Coronation is officially beginning. We will of course allow the head of the Magi of our Zoroastrian faith to officiate. My wife would like to give me a magnificent brooch. We'll gladly take that, thank you very much. One thing I have been lacking on is actually my inventory artifacts as well. I should really be commissioning more artifacts to at least fill this out. I think I say that every run though, I just always neglect it. There we go, some cultural acceptance here between the Sinjarin Persians, which is already a hybrid culture of us, so we don't really need much acceptance there, but also Oguz, which we will definitely take. The good news as well is that because we're actually having this coronation so deep into our actual life, there's no major detractors even at the coronation, so everything should run pretty smooth. Now, we're already at max magnificence here. For the actual crown though, we can choose to have it be inherited with the Persian Empire or say that it belongs to my house. I think I will say this belongs to my house because in future, I'd actually much rather a better crown to be inherited with the Empire. We have lots of options here to take an oath. Expand the realm would be nice. The thing is, it wants me to expand the realm by 90 counties. We currently have a realm size of 302 and it wants 392 in 20 years. Probably doable, but that's quite a lot of expansion. I think regardless, I will do expand the realm here. I don't know if we'll get to 90 new counties, but maybe we will. There we go, my reign begins. Huge amount of bonuses for us here. We are also now no longer uncrowned, which will be very nice. 4,000 prestige, another 1,000 legitimacy, and lots of cultural acceptance as well. I probably won't show any future coronations in as much detail. I'll just point out interesting notifications and whatnot, but seeing as though that was our first one, wanted to make sure that we saw everything that happened there, but massive success with that one, to be honest. For my next war, I think I might actually give the Byzantines a bit of a break here and instead actually do a holy war for the Sultanate of Egypt. Reason being, I think Egypt is going to be a very rich kingdom to hold. It should help boost all of our income across the board again. And it's the last remaining piece of land the Arabian Empire has that's really boosting their economy at the moment. I think if you subtract Egypt from them, I don't even know if they're going to stay together, to be honest with you, which would then be fantastic for us, as we can swoop in, grab Jerusalem, and just make sure that our realms are actually linked here to some degree as well. So without further ado, let's launch this war. We probably will have people joining in here who are also Ashari, but that's fine. Oh, I didn't even realize this, but they're already in our land sieging things down. One of our vassals must have declared war on them. I'm also going to just load up my provincial armies here with a bunch of trebuchets to make this as quick as possible. And of course, immediately we have more nomads looking for independence. It is the same region as always. That's perfectly fine. You can just be independent. You know what? Just go for it. I am sure that my vassals will take it back off of you anyway. Theoretically, this war should not be as bad as dealing with the Byzantines, as we now have a much greater margin in terms of troop count. We theoretically double what the actual Arabian Empire has here, and they shouldn't start seeing a massive increase in troop count as they cannot call on provincial armies. What I really want to try and do is catch this army here before they retreat deeper into their realm, get an immediate battle score off the rip, and maybe even capture the ruler here as he is leading his troops. Here we go, here we go. I've ended up accidentally splitting my army in two, though. This could be a bit of a mistake. I need that top one to finish. There we go. Now, please immediately join this battle down to the south. There we go. That was a little bit dicey, just the way that the armies got split there, but that should be our first battle over with. Fantastic. I'm going to very quickly just counter-siege what they've taken here, and then we'll immediately start pushing in. Come back to counter-attack straight away here. We do have troops in the wings. Oh my word, please get there in time. Please hurry up. Please no. Please no. Oh, they're going to lose, aren't they? Oh, I think we just about got in time, but we're still going to lose. I think I may be able just to get enough troop count in here in terms of numbers that we maybe can pull this off. They're just beating us so badly in terms of the advantage here. Nope, unfortunately, we lose this battle. That's perfectly fine, though. Realistically, they are not stronger than us. It's just how I had my troops split out. I feel like I need to find a new actual tactic when I'm invading in this way, like sending smaller forces out as like screening forces, because normally what happens is my troops aren't that far apart, but because of the fog of war, by the time I see their attacking force, they're like one county away. Oh, we have another king looking to be our tributary, and it's the Mongols. The Mongols want to be a tributary to us. Okay, we will accept for now. If you want to give us some money and whatever else, that's perfectly fine. I was never really expecting to have the Mongols as a tributary, though. I cannot lie to you. Well, I'm sorry to say, but we're back to our Byzantine tactics of bringing our army back into our own lines, getting our supply back up, because that is now what is destroying us. I need to improve at managing armies of this size. Okay, so we've pulled them into our realm while we were just regrouping everybody up. I've also called in some provincial armies just to help here. Yeah, if you want to help, you're more than welcome. Okay, here we go. Time to push them back. Let's go, let's go. This is more like it. We should be able to attack them piecemeal here while they keep walking into us. They are more than welcome to do that. Okay, there we go. That is another battle won. I think I'm tempted to get into ships, though, and actually just start sieging down Egypt itself, because until we actually get to Egypt, we're not really helping our war score that much. We could try go down by the coast. You know what? Maybe I'll do that. It feels safer. Also, the Mongols called me into an independence war against them, but we're not going to be helping them in that. We have managed to follow the Persian army directly back to where they retreated. We'll immediately attack again, keep dwindling them down. So we've severely hindered their troops now. They beat us in some battles initially, but they are severely struggling with troops. We have a bit of time here to get some sieges off, and we've just broken into Egypt. In a way, I am calling in my provincial armies quite late into some of these wars, but I think it's kind of working in our favor. Even if we lose a battle or two initially, usually the enemy exhaust themselves quite a bit driving into our land, and then suddenly we end up with a massive extra amount of troops that we can raise from our actual provinces. Also, our player heir has just gotten a divorce. I'm not entirely sure why. What is our player heir doing? He's attacking in the Dalemite expansion war. What are you going for here? Oh, I see what's going on here. Our player heir is currently the viceroy of Dalim, just with how the actual succession is working. He is our cousin, and he's already moving in to take back these nomadic lands. My army is definitely not in a position to actually have any battles at the moment. We are attritioning quite badly, but we're also sieging incredibly quickly, and I think we can get to 100 here before the Arabian Empire has a chance to stop us. Yes, we can. A son is born on the exact same day that we reach 100%, and that is Egypt under our control. That has taken me up to 43 out of 10 domain holdings. I'm going to grant all of this away to Zoroastrian Persians. Obviously, the borders here are non-ideal. We really want to pick up Jerusalem just so that we have a way to actually move between our realms without having to go into foreign territory. But for now, this is fine. The Arabian Empire has taken a severe hit. They've moved their capital all the way over here now, which is nowhere near as good as a county as what they would have had over in Egypt. I'm going to give my nephew here the Duchy of Delta and the Kingdom of Egypt eventually, once I hand everything else out. But I would like for one member of our family to be the dominant force here ruling Egypt for us. Okay, and there we go. So now we have our nephew and vassal, who is the Viceroy of Egypt himself, ruling from the Delta. Everybody else is in control as Persian Zoroastrians, and they've all been given the directive to convert over the faith. What I will do now, though, seeing as though we have this land inside of the Pontus as well as all of Egypt, is I will now evangelize the realm, and hopefully we'll see a big amount of this swap over. Truth will prevail, and there we go. So it's in a lot of the Pontus, and we have some counties immediately flipping over inside of Egypt. Let's also sponsor another civil research project this time. Why not take the reins immediately? Okay, let's now have a look at the Persian Empire itself and see how succession is looking. So right now it's our son, who actually just rules a duchy over here inside of the Byzantine Empire. It's then our cousin ruling Dalem, and then some other cousins as well as our half-brother. I think the man we had wanted previously, we had given Pontus to. This is the man that we had actually educated. He is the child of a concubine, but very decent stats already and 23 years of age. I feel like he's a good pick, at least for now. Although we are only 50. If we live another 30 years, I would prefer somebody possibly a bit younger. I may even rotate over into learning early here, rather than focusing on living longer or faith, though. We'll focus on learning and development growth, and then we'll work our way down to know thyself, and we'll make the decision on who we want to be taking over from us as the Empire of Persia when we are closer to death, so that we don't pick somebody now and then they end up inheriting at the same age we are now. What in the world? I don't know how this happened, but we don't actually have the Duchy of Baghdad. We've the province of Aleppo and Isfahan, but we don't actually have Baghdad. I'm happy to give Aleppo away. I mean, they're nice holdings, and we don't need the duchy title. We can still have the holdings. How in the world did you get this, my friend? I'm going to revoke this off you. It shouldn't be an issue given that we are admin. Thank you very much. You've also given me 2 other counties around here as well. I'm not sure if I just missed something over there or what. What I might actually do is, seeing as though I have all of this nice and consolidated, I might actually just grant Aleppo away, because we don't need to hold that as a duchy either. I assume we have too many duchies now. Yes, we do. I mean, is Isfahan worth holding? There's some, like, decent counties over here. Nothing too crazy, though. Yeah, I'm going to grant Aleppo away here. So you, my friend, can grab Aleppo and everything inside of it and hold that for me. He is from our family, so that should be okay in terms of our actual admin score. Yeah, more than okay. We're at 2,500. Second most powerful family, 564. And to be honest with you, I'm actually quite happy just to control everything in the nice consolidated area around the capital as well. I don't think I've been building these up as much though, as I haven't been holding them, but we can rework those and build them up over time. No issues there at all. I am also going to do the old reliable of going down and asking every single vassal I have to promote my legend. I'm not really going to pay any of them to do it. If it seems like they won't, I won't even bother asking, but just to try and speed this up a little bit, because I want to get this as close to finished as possible for when my son takes over. We've actually inadvertently picked up quite a few tributaries as well. We have the Mongols, the Malwa, the Marahastra, as well as the Bihmadevid kingdom over here as well, all as tributaries. The Mongols are even disobedient, but their cease tribute chance is still none. I'm going to revoke one of these kingdom titles over here as well, because the ruler is currently incapable. Just by asking everyone to chip in, we can already increase our legend to level 2, and hopefully we can get this to level 3 for our son as well. Although, to be honest, if we could get it to level 3 relatively quickly, I may even just use this legend for myself again. We've already done Evangelize the Realm and reasserted the Holy Mission, so if we can do that once more in this lifetime, that would be incredible. And it is time for another Dynasty legacy. We do want to keep working down customs here, because that would be quite nice indeed. It's the Cultural Emissary who's huge. We could also keep working down the bureaucracy piece here. I do like the Cabinet of Curiosities. It's a great way to get some bonuses from those artifacts that you're not really going to use as much. And then obviously less likely to join claimant factions is always tremendous too. For now though, we'll go for House of House, get the reception hall, so we can try and reduce the amount of legitimacy that is lost on succession. Okay though, we have had a super successful episode, continuing to boost the economy. We've officially been crowned, we're back in good health, and we're already working our way towards another legend, having already taken not one but 2 kingdoms in our holy wars, significantly reducing the strength of the Arabian Empire as well. We do still need to find an opportunity to link our realms together. That shouldn't be too much of an issue though. And then it'll be back to the Byzantines driving forward into their lands, although they're also quite a bit diminished. But again, with provincial troops, you can never count them out. But we have them as well, and as the Arabians saw, you cannot count us out either. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. A massive shout out to all of our channel members helping to support the channel and everything that I do here. And as always, a very special shout out to our Emperor's Hands tier in Faustbread and Kenny IDFK. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you all in the next video.